And finally, Joe Torre is saying goodbye to our Los Angeles Dodgers after 3 seasons as the manager here. Now, I want to thank Joe for being so available to me and helping us out with so many stories over the last 3 years. I had a chance to catch up with Joe Torre one last time. Well, Joe, this is where you and I meet for the last 3 years. Has this been like a blur, or has this gone by quickly?
It's gone by quickly. Unfortunately, you get to a certain age, Maria, and things go by quickly. I remember when I was a youngster and how long it took Christmas to get here.
Right.
And then you realize that every time you blinked your eye, it was, coming down the road again. So the one thing when I look at the work, as a player, as a manager, and how very grateful I am that I was able to do something that I loved to do as a child and make a living out of it. As my wife likes to say, she says, now you're not going to wear your play clothes anymore.
Yeah.
So I can tell you this thing has been brand new for a long time, and when you look back and think about my first professional baseball game as a player was 1960, it scares the hell out of me.
Well, if there was one thing, if really managing was going to be over for you after tomorrow, is there one thing you think you would miss the most? Maybe filling out a lineup card, or just...
You know what it is? The one thing I would miss is being with my coaches. I mean, it's like family. You spend more time with your staff than you do with your wife and children, and that's the one thing you miss: relationships. And there's a lot of responsibility involved because, these guys are here because of you, and all of a sudden you're gone and you're concerned about where they're going. And so that's the one area that probably holds the most sensitivity for me.
I know that you're leaving him in very good hands with Don Mattingly. Does he have you on speed dial if he needs to talk, or?
Oh, he always does. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Donnie, Donnie's been coaching for me 7 years or so, and he certainly is a quick learn. And, you look in his eyes, he's going to tell you the truth. He has great communication skills with these players. And plus, he's a lot closer to their age where he can, maybe make them understand a little bit easier. And as I say, he's chomping at the bit now. He's excited. He's going to get a chance to practice a little bit in the fall league, which is, I think, is really a big advantage for him, even though it keeps him from going home for a long time. But he's going to be great. He's going to be great, and as I say, he's never been one to back away from responsibility, and that's what this managing stuff is all about.
Well, I think people are apprehensive because he is so young, but everybody has to start somewhere, and the players that I've talked to, they like him.
Well, no, the players like him,
yeah.
and again, you can't decide that he's going to be a manager unless you feel that respect is there. I think the fans or the people out here don't know him. The only thing they know about him is he's a Yankee, and not everybody likes Yankees.
Why is that, Joe?
There's a certain resentment. Well, I tell you, there's a great deal of resentment for anybody who wears a Dodger uniform.
That's right.
And that's why I feel very grateful that I was able to manage the two teams that are very similar, one in the National, one in the American League, that other teams sort of measure themselves against.
So back to the baseball question. So where will you go next, do you think? Broadcasting, baseball, front office, or just kind of deciding?
Well, just kind of deciding is next. And again, when the season's over, whether you win or sort of limp home like we did this year, yeah, I'm looking forward to getting away. Whether it be for a couple of weeks or whatever it is, it's just nice not to have to go to the ballpark and not to have to, say goodbye to my daughter. But now I can go watch her practice or softball and do stuff like that, and then, watch the playoffs a little bit, and then see what's out there.
Right.
Because people are obviously. If anybody has interest in me, they're going to have to, wait till this season's over, and I'm just curious what's out there, to be honest with you. And the good part is I don't mind staying home. So that's the good part. I don't know how my wife feels, but I know that's the way I feel.
I think she's probably going to want you at home for a little while at least.
Yeah, you're probably right, a little while, yeah.
Is there one thing that's going to stand out from these last 3 years for you? Just something that stands out in your mind?
Yeah, I think I got a chance to know these fans a little bit. Not only the ones that come here to the ballpark, although there's probably the same people, but the ones that you run into around town, and how passionate they have been, and continue to be about this franchise. And they have their favorites. Of course, when Manny came here, he caught a lot of them by storm, and he took a lot of them by storm. But the fans and the warmth, because, you know, a lot of times you think about California, you think about the coldness, and, you know, everybody's busy doing this, that, and the other thing. But I found a lot of warmth in not only the ballpark, but in the city. And, you know, we're not going anywhere anytime soon.
And a big thank you to Joe Torre. It's been my pleasure to work with you over the last 3 years. We'll see you down the road real soon, I'm sure. All right, that's all the time that we have for you on today's show. I'm Maria Sorreo for the last time for Dodger Stadium 2010. We'll see you next year. Just from the game today, which ones will you flash back on, do you think?
I think Ted Lilly and Quo. You know, those, and of course John Lindsay. I had that little plan for the last couple of days. Not as much the pinch hitting part, because I wasn't sure if he was on the deal or not. But once I found out he wasn't, then that was a no-brainer. Yeah, just to look at this kid, and as much as I love the game and know how it's not easy to play it or to succeed in it, and to see how determined this young man has been for all these years to finally get to the big leagues and then have the misfortune of getting hurt. But he never, that smile never left his face. And it, you know, you just realize, you know, how much the game means to certain people, and you wish it would have that kind of impact on more of them.
I think it's amazing, too, at the end when we see all the call-ups and just the light in their eyes, you know.
It's something that you hope when you do call them up that they get a taste of it, and it makes them a little hungrier for, you know, for hoping to, you know, make it to the next step. But John is certainly unusual. In fact, when I went up and talked to Alfonso Marquez, the umpire, I said, I'm going to do this. I'm going to pinch hit, and then I'm going to pinch hit for him, because I didn't want to, you know, make him think I'm making a farce of this thing. And I said, this kid took a long time. He said, I know, because he was umpiring the minor leagues while that whole thing was going on. So, yeah, I think everybody felt good about that for him. Yeah.